and welcome back to Let's Talk Books. Today I'm here to give you a review on a highly anticipated poetry book by a very well-loved author, and that is The Dark Between Stars by Atticus. Now, if you don't know who Atticus is, then you're living under a rock or you have no idea what insta poetry is. Well, last year, this beauty came out called Love Her Wild. This was his debut poetry collection from a lot of his work that he posts on Instagram. And I just loved it and everything that he basically put into this. So when I found out that he was creating another poetry collection, I knew I had to get my hands on it. Luckily enough, I was able to receive this ARC, which I was very, very excited about. And I basically read it in one sitting. There are a lot of people out there who don't really understand or enjoy this style of poetry, and that's fine. Please leave that negativity somewhere else. This is, a positive place, and I'm saying that because I've gotten a lot of negative comments about liking this sort of poetry. This style of poetry has connected to so many people, especially young readers out there, and I feel like it's been a long time since people have actually enjoy poetry. I just wanted to throw that out there before I get started. Anyways, so this one is very, very similar to his first one, Love Her Wild. It's about finding that first love and being so infatuated with that person and the in and outs of her flaws and all. This particular book kind of takes you on this path of his first love, how intoxicating it can be, but also how ugly it could get. He shows like how he deals with that and the steps of being alone again, which is something that a lot of people fear. So he definitely pours his heart out into his work. So with this book, I want to say that I didn't love it as much as Love Her Wild. I think it's because I read that book, I loved it, and I didn't know what to expect, I guess. So coming into this one, time has passed and he is developing as a writer. I was just expecting just a little more depth to his writing. And even though I thoroughly enjoyed this one and the premise of it, all the different emotions that were carried on into this book. So my favorite part actually was towards the end. It starts off with stars, between, and dark. So it's the kind of like the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I really love the dark part. I really love when people are intuitive with their emotions. And so that was why it was my favorite part, because it was about him more than it was about the girl that he fell in love with. And it seemed like we got to know him as a writer a little bit more. The things that I really enjoyed, especially kind of like his first one, are his pictures in this one. Like ones like this I really like, and there's just a bunch of them that are really great. Then he added a lot of I believe they're handwritten. They seem to be handwritten. It felt a little bit more personal, like if he actually wrote them and it's coming from like his journal. His work is simplistic and grounded. It carries deep meaning that a lot of people can relate to. And I'm going to just share with you some of my favorite pieces in here that really describe that. It describes just how raw and simple his work is, but they pack such a big punch. Also, the picture is like everything. I guess like old people just have a special place in my heart. It says, "There's not enough time in life to worry about there not being enough time in life." It describes me and a lot of people, I think, and we're always thinking about what we're not doing when we could just do it. And that just says it all. And it's, oh God, it's so good and so truthful. This one is extremely touching. It says, "Put your hands on your heart. In you there is power. There are ideas no one has ever thought of. There is the strength to love purely and intensely, and to be loved back. There is the power to make people happy and to make people laugh. The power to change lives and futures. Don't ever forget that power, and don't ever give up on it." And it's like, oh my God. Like that is everything. That is everything. And I will savor the rest for you when you guys read it. Even though I didn't love it as much as his first one, his work is still mesmerizing. And it's one of those where I could just like be bored one day, pick up his book, read a few of them, and just feel good. There's just something about it that makes you feel good. If you haven't read his other book, please do, because it's so good. And definitely pick this one up if you haven't either. And if you are a lover of his work, you're gonna enjoy it because he's just that good. So I give Dark Between Stars 4 stars. And if you want to go pick up this book, I will leave the link down below. It is officially out for sale and he is going on tour. So if you want to meet him, I will leave that link down below as well. So that is all for this video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy poetry and Insta poetry and slam poetry. I love it all. And I think it's making a difference in people. And I will continue to love it and support it and all that jazz. So yeah, thanks again for watching and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.